Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Grille, the Tier 5 German SPG, located on the south spawn of Ruinberg Encounter, and it's under the command of 4Q2. Yes, this is one of my replays, and it happened a few days ago. Okay, game on. Well, as you know, the Grille is actually based on the Hetzer hull, or rather actually it's the Panzer 38 CT. It's the same Czech tank that was actually devised in 1938, and the chassis was very good indeed, so much so that they actually started using it for a variety of German tanks, including the tank destroyers. My first shot was at the AMX-13 FL11. It was a bit of a snap because I wasn't fully dialed in, but I got a bit of a splash on him. Unfortunately, I didn't get any stun assist. Now, I have actually platooned because obviously that event is on, and it's rather important to collect platoon damage. And you can see where the enemy Arty is. He's just fired. Rounds out on the Stug. Now, I thought he was going to keep moving. He didn't. So I'm going to dial in again and get it really accurate this time. He doesn't appear to be moving very much. I suspect he's a bit of a noob. I've marked the target to tell my teammates. Nobody's looking in that direction at the moment, so I'm going to hit the spot. And it actually hits him for 230. The 15cm howitzer has got 480 alpha, 38mm pen, and standard reload 22.53 seconds. Mine's quite a bit quicker than that, and I think that Stug's going to go down with my next shot. Yeah, 18 seconds, and it is a kill. So, I've got my first kill of the game. I'm now looking over towards the town centre, because of course this is where the cap is. We've got a Largo who's gone up onto that platform area. I'm going to dial in on the spot that he was occupying, because I think he's going to go up there again. In fact, he does. And now he's out the game, so that's my second kill. You see, if you pre-aim at a specific spot, then the enemy tank keeps going back to, eventually they're going to get taken out. Now, it seems the enemy is rather keen to take the cap area at the moment. You see that Churchill 1 just rocking backwards and forwards. In fact, we're not having a good time because they've got 3 of the roads leading to the cap circle, and that Churchill's now coming in our direction, but he takes a hit from me for 137. Now, it's not going to persuade me to stop doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep trying to shoot at the enemy. Got an S-35CA, the bathtub, making his way in that direction. Oh, I got a big reticule balloon there. I had to move the vehicle to get them within the arc. The arc's only 10 degrees, 5 degrees either side of the center line. He's decided to cap, but he stayed in the same spot. And yes, I fired the round in, and I actually got the hit on the S-35, and I took him for 158 hit points. Now, we're only 1 down on the enemy, and they are heading my direction, which is not so good. But if I can get some rounds in his direction, yep, that was a direct hit on the Churchill 1. I remembered where his position was, and so I fired blind, but it still hit the target. Okay, we've got T6 medium there. I'm finding it difficult to get a solution. I might have to back up a little just to get a shot. Okay, we don't know where those enemies are. I think that the ones who are capping are actually behind the church area, so I can't get a shot there. Okay, S-76. Close, but not on him. There's a good chance the enemy might actually get closer, so I'm going to try and use these trees for cover. We've got a T6 medium, and he's just spotted me. Okay, hello, Mr. Medium. He's not interested in me at all. I've auto-aimed onto him, and he goes out the game. I didn't get the kill, though. The kill went to the Cruiser 4. You can see there's a Churchill 1 over there who wants to have a word with me about the hit points he's missing. So I've auto-aimed onto him, and I'm dialing in. I'm pretty sure he knows where I am. Yes, he does. And, well, I fired auto-aim and didn't get a hit. But I'm missing 151 hit points now, which I'm a bit annoyed about, to say the least. Now, there's only 4 enemies left. The 2 heavy tanks, the Churchill 1 and a KV-1. And then they've got a tank destroyer, the Su-76. And lastly, their Arty, which of course is a Grille. I haven't heard much from him. If he's actually trying to do counter battery, Well, he's not doing it very well. I think he's aiming at our tanks. So if he's doing that, he's doing the right thing. Now, I'm going to be very sneaky. I'm going to try and creep up on that Churchill. Hello, Mr. Churchill. Do you remember me? Well, yes, he did remember me, and he saw me. That might tempt him to come out from that area just to get a quick kill. But I'm going to come behind the rubble and now aim in that general area. Now, KV-1 is capping. There's the Churchill. Churchill takes a hit for 193, and I get stun assist off that one. There's only the KV-1 left. That's all that's left. The enemy totally botched this one. And I'm just about loaded. I'm going to try a round in there. I stunned him. At least I stunned him. And he goes down, and we get the stun assist. And that was the game over. Here's the end of battle results for the first game, and that was a first-class tanker for 4Q2 in the Grille. I got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, I got 11. And I got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on my team. And despite the fact that I got 2 kills in that game as well, and my win rate was 4,877, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, I didn't get the highest damage in the game. No, that went to a Panzervumpfvier. Yes, this rather OP little tank. He picked up a Spartan, high caliber, and a steel wall in that game. Second highest damage actually went to the Churchill 1, who put a round into me. He was pretty unhappy with me, but he got 2,324 hit points of damage. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the KV-1. That was the guy who was capping. He got 1,868 hit points. When it came to myself, I got 1,608, and I was part of the platoon with the M10 RBFM, who did 1,663. So I think he was pretty happy as well, because he platooned with somebody who almost got as many hit points as he did. Unfortunately, our third platooner didn't get anything at all, so pity for him. But anyway, at least he got some benefit out of it for his competition for the celebrations. When it came to kills, the high scorers were the M10 RBFM, my platoon mate, who actually got a Top Gun for getting 6 kills, and so did the Churchill 1. And in second place was the Panzervumpfvier with 4 kills, and I came in third with 2 kills. Yes, actually got third place. And when it came to base XP, I've still got third place because, no, I've actually got fourth place. Sorry, incorrect there. The Panzervumpfvier got 1,671. The M10 RBFM got 1,034, both of those very OP tanks. They were the only ones who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. The third highest was, in fact, the Churchill 1. He got 695, just beating me on 658. So I was the fourth on base XP. I fired 13 rounds in the game, 7 direct hits on the enemy. One of them was a penetrating shot. Let's see if we can work out which one that was. Was it the Stug? No, it wasn't. Funnily enough, I didn't. Was it the... Yes, no, it wasn't that one either. And it certainly wasn't the Su-76. Not the Churchill. It was the Largo, yes. That Largo went straight up onto the same spot. Exactly the same spot he'd been on before. So all I had to do was dial in on the spot and wait for him to drive into the position. And the shell nailed him straight away. He was out the game. Yeah, not a smart move, actually, to go to the same spot every time. Try and move to a different spot if you can to avoid being splattered. But if you are going to move to the same spot, Arty will take advantage of that because it's such an easy kill for us. Anyway, let's go back to the detail. I also got 12 splashes, damage of 1,608 hit points, of which 1,224 were at more than 300 meters. As you saw, I did some fairly close range shooting, and I did actually get spotted twice during the game. Yes, I exposed myself when I went around the corner to try and get the Churchill, and of course that T6 medium saw me, but he ignored me, completely ignored me, which is the wrong thing to do. As I said, I did receive a hit. It was a penetration. That was from the Churchill. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, so there was the Confederate. 81 hit points of stun assists off 11 stuns, and I got 6 defense points because I reset the cap whilst the Churchill was still in there. On a premium count, I earned a profit of 67,101 credits, and I also got 3,454 experience points as well, because I got a reward for completing a mission. So that was the first game. Yes, because I'm actually trying to get the third MOE, working up the third MOE on this account. It's an account I don't play that often, but I do occasionally. And I've noticed that none of the tanks are third marked, so I really do need to get all of these ones third marked. So that's why I'm playing a lot of the Guerrilla recently. And I've noticed the scores are actually quite good. So let's have a look at the second replay and see how I got on in that one. The second replay is on the Mines map, and it's Mines Encounter and North Spawn. Game on. Well, as you know, me and Mines goes back a long way, especially considering it was, I think, about, must be close to 7 or 8 years ago that I actually discovered this spot over in this corner. Yeah, Nigel's spot over at C1. Very dangerous for enemy Arty and enemy tanks, actually, for the centre. You notice how I'm positioning myself so I can use that shot into the centre. Well, we just saw an AMX ELC. I fired that round in to try and nail him. I would have hit him, but for the fact, of course, that he was already dead, taken out by our VK3002M. But they did get one tank into the castle grounds. It's a T50. So they are stopping our guys from getting in at the moment. Now, first heavy to turn up, so Churchill 7. And he takes a hit for 136. Now, as you know, this position, it's not totally safe. The enemy Arty is actually focusing on the tanks on the island. They could spot my tracer coming from this corner, but they'd have to work out where I was. Rounds out, another direct hit. This time the VK3001M takes the hit, and I pick up another 161. Now, when you're marking a vehicle, you're trying to get an average damage of enough to actually get the third mark. At the moment, I need to get about 1100 hit points each game. Well, that was a good one there, 225. My total's now gone up to 522. So I'm well on track to getting all I need to get that third mark. Okay, we're still loading, even though the reticule's saying I'm not. And that was my first bad shot of the game, which actually just stunned the Churchill 7. Did actually damage him. You notice that KV-1S actually knows the right thing to do, which is actually to hug those rocks as closely as you can, but not like that, not nose to, and not with exposure like that, because then you are going to take hits. In fact, both of them took hits there. The KV-1S came off the worst with 122, with the Churchill taking 24 hit points of damage. So I'm sure that those two drivers at this moment are kicking themselves for driving up here, because now they are vulnerable. Rounds out. Another hit. Only 152, but he goes down, and I don't mind them killing him. I just want their hit points. That's all I want. Let me take their hit points. You can take the kill. Okay, the KV-1S has said, I've had enough. I'm going into the castle grounds regardless. Oh, big reticule bloom. And I fire ahead of his track. And, well, yes, it did go a bit long, that one. But he's given me a second chance. Now, big reticule bloom, because, of course, it's only 5 degrees either side of the center line. And look at this. He's pushing the wreck with him, which is actually slowing him down. Allows me to pump around him, which hits him for another 164. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to push wrecks around in the entrance to the castle. You're just going to take damage, and I got track damage there because I tracked him, and I'm about to put the last shot in, and I splash kill him actually. Only 49 hit points. Now it is an encounter game, so it's all about the cap over on the other side. And I can see a T1 heavy. He's backing up, so I line the shot up the other side. Get ready. He's backing up, he's backing up. Rounds out. Direct hit for 116. He goes down. He backed up too much there. Okay, our KV2. There's the T50. The guy who's in the castle for the longest time. Now I'm almost loaded. And he turns around. Rounds out. Oh, well, I'll take that somebody else did get the kill, but he turned around. At that moment, he suffered Now, there's only 5 enemies left, none of them near the cap area, and we are capping at the moment. I noticed there's 2 enemy tanks on the South Island, and there's one that's fairly close by. I see the MX-13 FL11. Not a great tank, but it can be used effectively as a light tank. Rounds out. He's out the game, back in the garage. Okay, so I've now got how many kills? I think that was my first kill, wasn't it? No, my second kill. Because, of course, I killed the KV-1S. Now, I think he's there. Shall we check? No, he's not there. And I platoon with somebody who could probably do with the hit points. Yes, he moved up, actually. It was a very sneaky thing for him to do. But he's going back to the same position he was before. Now, he thinks he's in the ground or in the depression there. And I've splattered him for 122, and he goes down. That means there's only 2 enemies left, the Skoda and the Jackson. Now, I might be able to get a shot if I move up. Now, I've mentioned just recently to a lot of players, do use your W key. Move closer to the enemy. The closer you are to the enemy, more likely you're going to get them within range, and the more likely you're going to get a quick reaction to get some more hit points off the enemy. Dialed in, but I'm going to have to fire snap. And I didn't get the kill. The VK3601H got the kill. So it's game over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for 4Q2 in the Grille. I managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. I managed to get 7, and my win 8 was 3,744, but I didn't get any other medals at all, mainly because actually I got too many kills. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage in the game turned out to be the VK3601H who got that last kill. He got a high caliber for 2,526 hit points. Second highest damage turned out to be the Jackson on the enemy team with 2,223. And the third highest damage turned out to be their Skoda T25 who managed 1,724 hit points of damage. I actually came in fourth. Again, yes, 1,368 hit points of damage. So I'm not unhappy with that. That's more than the 1,100 that I needed to get the third mark. When it came to basics to kills, though, we can see that the enemy Fifi did incredibly well. He got 5 kills in the game. Didn't get a huge amount of damage, only 651, but he did get 5 kills. So well done to him that he kept persisting and getting shots on target. 3 enemy kills to the VK3601H and also to the Nassau on our team in second place. And yes, I got joint third place with the KV2 and the T150. The KV2 got a steel wall in that game as well. Only 3 players on the enemy team actually managed to get a kill. And of course, their Fifi did the best. When it came to base XP, I'm actually in third place again. Yes, because the AMX13 F11, rather, I should say, got 1,012 base out of that game. I think that's because he was spotting. Let's have a look. Come on up. There you go. 1,229 spotting. Yes, so he did very well, actually. And funnily enough, he got a Confederate in that game. So well done to him. Second highest was the VK3601H with 969. And I picked up 828 in third place base XP. 16 shots fired. So I got a lot of shots off. 8 direct hits on the enemy. None of them penetrated, but I did get 12 splash. Damage of 1,368 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 6 of the enemy, killed 2, so that's why I missed out on the Confederate. 248 hit points of damage assist, so I knocked the tracks off and that allowed people to kill the target. And 671 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 45,295 credits, and I also got 1,863 experience points altogether. So a very good game for me, really. I think what it does prove is that even after all these years, that spot, Nigel spot in C1, is still valid. You can pump rounds into the enemy tank's sides, and there's not a lot they can do about it. In fact, all they can do is ask their own Arty to try and protect them from me, because they can't reach me, they can't shoot at me, they can't see me. And the only other thing they can do is obviously send light tanks up over the island. But if they do that, our tank destroyers will probably take them out. It doesn't work so well for the French tanks, the French Arty rather, because they've got a very low trajectory, and that wall tends to get in the way. And it's not very great for the M41, which has got a slightly lower trajectory as well. But even so, it's very good for the Bishop and for the FP304, even though they don't do a huge amount of damage. The only problem for the Bishop is that you can't get to that position very easily because it's so slow. It takes forever to get there. And if the enemy spots you, they might try to get at you. But even so, it does work for other arties. We've tried it. Even for the heavies, it works. Even for the tier 9s and the tier 10s, that position is deadly to the enemy. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.